of how my closest friend fell in love. Not slowly, not over time, but right at the first glance and totally unwillingly. The reluctant encounter. It started on an ordinary day. We were attending a boring university seminar. My friend Isan, he hated such events. He had a strict no love, no drama policy. Girls? Not his interest. He said he couldn't care less. Until she walked in. Dramatic pause. Her name? We didn't even know yet. But I saw his face. That split-second change. He blinked twice. He tried looking away, but it was too late. Denial mode activated 2 to 3:30. Narrator. Hassan immediately turned to me and said, "Bro, I don't like her, okay?" I hadn't said a word, but for the next 2 weeks, he kept noticing her from a distance, avoiding direct eye contact, pretending not to care. But every time she laughed, his head would turn. He was falling unwillingly. The coincidence, 3:30 to 5 o'clock. Narrator. One day, fate played a twisted game. We were randomly grouped for a class project. And guess who ended up in Hassan's group? Yep, the same girl, Zoya. The moment she said hi, Hassan fumbled. He dropped his pen, couldn't say a word for 10 seconds. That night, he sent me a voice note. "Bro, this is bad. I think I like her." I replied, "I know. Reality check, 7 to 8:30. Narrator. Hassan was struggling. "Should I confess?" he asked. "No," I warned. "You barely know her." But Zoya wasn't just pretty, she was kind. She remembered his name. She complimented his notes. One day she said, "You're funny." That sealed it. It wasn't a crush anymore. It was admiration. But he still didn't want to fall. The unwilling fall. 5 to 7 o'clock. Narrator. The project meetings became his most anticipated moments. He started dressing better. He acted normal, but his heart? A total mess. One day she asked for help with her laptop, and he sat with her for 15 minutes. After she left, he said, "I didn't want this. I swear, but I think I'm in trouble now." Love wasn't planned. It just happened. The confession, or not. 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Narrator. Did he confess? No, but he accepted the truth. He was in love. Not the filmy kind. The slow, scary, uninvited kind. "Bro," he said, "this girl, she messed up my peace." And I didn't even say a word to her for the first 2 weeks. And that's how a guy who swore off love fell at first sight. Unwillingly, unintentionally, irrevocably.
Town to town, from London to Taiwan, I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Temptation within, mistakes suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Set my heart on